bad time management is one of the main reasons for failure in the music industry, and really any industry, especially even like entrepreneurship. So I always say the music industry is not a career, it's a lifestyle. And in something that's a lifestyle, it's all consuming, managing your time becomes even more important because you're always in it. You're always at a show, you're always working towards the next show, and hundreds of emails are flooding in, phone calls are coming in. How do you manage your time? So here's some advice and tactics on how Michael Yerke from Live Nation uh, manages his time and how he stays on top of emails and how he carves out different times throughout the day to manage his workload. So this is from podcast episode number 26, and enjoy this advice and tip from Michael Yerke with Live Nation. Live the life you love. With so many shows that you guys do, I mean, I think it's thousands of shows that the clubs and theaters division does, and all the emails, phone calls, conference calls, meetings, family, coaching basketball. How do you manage your time? You have any time management advice, like any kind of systems that you have in place or any tools that you use to help you stay in a good workflow?
Well, I manage my time fairly well, but I will tell you that I would love to I'd love to be even better at it. It's definitely a goal of mine. To be honest with you, it's one of the things I think about, like if I would get a chance to sit down for 15 minutes with Michael Rapino, and I think about the scope of my job, which I think is about 1/1000th of what is on his plate, and ask him how does he manage his day, managing a global company, which means all hours of the day. I come in I'm in early anyways, but I'll have calls with our UK office. I have a relationship with the BBC, and I'm having those calls at 7 and 8 a.m. out here because of Los Angeles time. Can only imagine what he deals with in terms of, all these countries, from India to Australia to the UK to whatever, right? And then therefore all those people are working at different times of the day, their work day, and the emails and calls that come into him. I'd love to know that. But in terms of myself, I try and stay really organized in terms of on Sunday nights or Monday mornings, I map out my week. I have everything in my Outlook calendar and in terms of my meetings and conference calls. So I have it not only in my calendar, but on a yellow notepad. I mean, old school yellow legal notepad where I have each day plotted out, and I can quickly look up and say, okay, I got, this morning I have a call with Chris at 7:45 a.m. Then I have a call with our city sponsorship team at 11 a.m. and then, so on and so forth. So, excuse me. So, I mean, that's one thing. I think responding to emails quickly as opposed to letting them just build up in your box. I mean, some need a lot of time and thought and a different kind of response. But if something comes in and you can just go, yep, I agree, or I don't think we should do that, or give me more information on that. I try and respond to it quickly, or else it will build up. Like it bothers me sometimes when I see some people that have 700 emails in their inbox. I don't know how they would do that. It would give me an anxiety attack. I pretty much read everything. I mean, unless I'm in a meeting, within like right when it comes in. I'm sitting on my computer. I might be on a phone call. I glance at the email. If I can respond to it quickly, I do. If not, I get off the call and then I'll respond more thoroughly. And then there's some that I just need, you might need to write a paragraph or two, and that you leave that for a different time of the day. I mean, look, I also work at home a lot at night and in the early mornings. If not, the volume would be too much. But after I put my daughter to bed, and if I'm coming back from a show, I might work for from 11 o'clock to 1 in the morning, then go to bed and get up at 5:30 and work for half an hour, or something like that, and then get my daughter up and get her to school, and I'm into work early at 8:15, usually 8:30 every day. So. And it requires weekends, but, it's not like I'm sitting there 8 hours a day on the weekend, and I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because I'm really fortunate. But, you choose your spots, right? And you just got to stay on top of it, because if you're someone that people can't get a response from, they're going to find somebody else. Right. This business is moving too quickly. artists, agents, and their agents and managers, are planning things. We're always courting them to try and have them play for us at our rooms or for us in general on a tour. And you need to be responsive. And if you're not, they're going to find someone who is. So, that's why I said earlier about, what does it take to succeed? I think it is being, respond quickly, being diligent, working hard, and trying to look at your time and how you can, manage it better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking at that. I'm not perfect at it, and I always want to get a little bit better at it, but I try and be as efficient as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm sure there's someone who could teach me how to be even more efficient, and maybe that day will come where I will be.
It's something that Scooter Braun always talks about, how he tries to end every single day with an inbox of 0, because I can definitely agree having an inbox with 700 emails would give me an anxiety attack too.
Yeah, I can't do it. Something I have tried to do, though, which really doesn't have to do with work per se, but I've been doing it for the last bunch of months, is the last thing I do is I try and read some amount of a book. It might be 2 pages, it might be a chapter, depends on that day. And the first thing I get up is, read a couple pages. And I've made a lot of progress on a bunch of books over the last, 4 to 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And, I want to continue that because that helps. Also, I think you need balance too. You can't only work.
Absolutely.
And that's why I like basketball, and coaching my daughter and watching her play and playing myself. I think that stuff is important, because I think you could easily burn out. You could, stress could get you. And unfortunately, there's been a number of people last year in our industry and a few in our company that had strokes, and they were not old people. These were people in their, 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what it's, I'm sure there was a variety of factors, but stress plays into that.
Sure.
And I think you need to have, some kind of balance as well. It can't be all work, or else I think you burn out and you're not, it just would be a challenge. At least that wouldn't work for me. So
yeah, absolutely.